This is Eric Swindle, and this is my reflection for Module 7. After watching the lecture and reading the articles, describe my thoughts toward online learning at the K through 12 level. Do you think it's appropriate for students to complete online learning, and what parameters should be in place? Online learning, if it's like a completely online course, like this one, if it needs to be offered at all, and I feel like it should be offered maybe to only juniors and seniors in high school, just to touch base on like what an actual online course for college could look like or will look like, depending on what college they attend. I don't think it needs to be in anywhere from like K through maybe 8, just because everything's technology based anyway. They're going to get a sense of how to use the computer in the right ways by turning in all their assignments online, taking tests online, state assessments, so everything like that's already online. But I don't think kids, maybe not even some high school kids, need to attend a fully online course like this one. And if they do, I think it should be offered as just like an elective course that they can kind of just get into, maybe at like a local community college, or maybe just like a gen ed at their local college, wherever they feel like attending, just to kind of get the feel for what an online college is. Um, do I think every state should require students to complete an online course prior to high school graduation? Why or why not? No. I don't think it should be required. I definitely think that it should be given an opportunity for, say, juniors or seniors to kind of get the gist of what a completely online course is, see if they can handle it on their own time, see if they're able to make time out of their own day, maybe just after school or between sports, or jobs, stuff like that, to see if they can handle it. Because if they can't, then that means they should probably go onto an on-campus school instead of doing online if they can't kind of make time for it or whatever. But I definitely think that it should be offered to students, just because nobody wants to get into something they can't handle or be forced to be on campus, when they don't have to. My experience working with the LMS, which system did you choose to work with, and why? I chose Schoology, just because I had worked with it in the past. I had teachers that had worked with it in the past. I've had coworkers work with it in the past, so I kind of knew what I was doing and what I was working with. So it was the more familiar one that I had out of the list. What did I like or dislike about the system? I liked, obviously, I liked it because I'd used it before. It was more familiar to me. The dislikes about it, I think that it's definitely, from looking at all the other LMSs that were here that I've seen people post so far in the class, to me it feels kind of outdated. Google Classroom seems to be the most updated in my opinion. It definitely feels kind of old style, kind of old, more not like, it's just more outdated, I think. How could I use the LMS as a future educator? You could do the same thing we're doing here: create a lesson, create an assignment, create a quiz, create a test, create a work study, for quizzes, for tests, stuff like that. Have kids go through and do like a pre-test or a post-test, kind of whatever we need them to do online, that they can, do it a couple times so that they can get the gist of what like the lesson that we're teaching is, and they can go through it, and instead of us having to, reopen it multiple times, we can just set the setting. I know on Schoology you can set the setting as they can submit it up to 5 times. They can redo it up to 10 times. They can get this many wrong before they have to do it again, kind of thing. Where you can either do like it could be a study to make sure that they're ready for the test, or it could just be a quiz that was a small quiz that was over what you just had, or just an assignment that can be graded immediately and tell them the results and what to work on and stuff like that. So I definitely think it could be used a lot as a future educator.